See, like I was homeless for a little while, for 3 or 4 months. I lived out on the street, and here I am now, staring at university and a world of possibilities. It's a 180-degree turnaround from zero to hero. Hi, I'm Brian Petersen, and at age 16, I dropped out of school, and at age 54, I went back to school. High school for me was very traumatic in that I was a small kid, and being a small kid, I was bullied a lot. In the hallways, I constantly get pushed around, punched, kicked, books thrown on the hallway floor. I got a dead rat and a dead pigeon thrown into my locker. I was put into a locker and they locked the locker. This is the last period of the day, and on the 3rd floor, at the farthest place on the 3rd floor that you could go, and they locked me in there, and I was in there for an hour until a custodian found me. I remember it being dark, and I remember every time I hit the door that it echoed inside the locker. And I hope somebody can hear me. And then he had to find the combination to the lock, got the combination to the lock and let me out. And that was the point there that got me thinking, you know what, I don't need this. I'm gone, I'm history, I'm a ghost. When I had made the conscious decision I was not going back to school, I never told my parents for months. At least 2 months, I never actually told them. Mom was sympathetic. Dad was, well, you got to do something. Go out and do something. Get a job. You know, why don't you go learn a trade? Why don't you do this? And Dad was full of suggestions. So they said, well, you can stay at home until you're 18, and then when you on the day after your birthday, you're out. I looked in the newspaper one day, and there was an ad in the paper, and it said, dance teachers wanted. No experience necessary, we will train you. On the final day of exams, they kicked me out saying that I wasn't good enough. But my job right after that is I sold vacuums. I was a Filter Queen vacuum cleaner salesman. I got a phone call one day after work, and the voice on the other end was a girl who was a manager of the first studio that didn't like me. She said that her dad was opening up a dance studio, and she wanted me to come and work for them. And that was my first job as a dance teacher, and that was the one I've stuck with since I was, 19 turning on 20, and now here I am, 56, still doing it. 3 years ago, I had a mental breakdown. Wasn't doing too well mentally. About 4 months later, after another hospital stay, my community mental health worker, Tamara, she said, well, have you ever thought of going back to school? And I said, yeah, about 3 months ago, and I haven't thought of it since, and why are you bringing it up? She said, I think it would be good for you. I think you would be good in school. And for the first week, 2 weeks, I basically sat there. This is all Tamara's fault. This is why you're here. Tamara is the one who made you go here. And it wasn't until a moment where I had to do a test in math where I got 100%, and wow, this is good. Maybe I will stay for a little while longer. So I'm learning math, and when I got the 100, it felt pretty good. It was the first time in years where I didn't feel like a failure or I'm not as smart. I've been told that I write English very well, and that I have a thing for it, and that I'm writing my autobiography, so to speak, about my 60 scoop experience. Learning that I have 6 siblings in New Zealand, in Calgary, here in Manitoba I have 2 in the States, and a sister over in Hungary. Just learning I have all of that family and writing my experience about it. I'm still blown away at how quick everything took. 1, I go to school. 2, I find out I have siblings. 3, get in contact with said siblings. 4, you're not as dumb as you think you are. And here it is now, the end of January, and I'm thinking that university is a real thing, and everybody who I talk to says yes, it is a real thing. So I've gone from literally living on the streets to you're going to university, and you're going to go with grades that you could be proud of. It's almost overwhelming. Going from where I was to where I am now.